The Ontario Ombudsman and Municipalities. Municipal complaint processes. Ensuring the public can raise concerns locally. The Ontario Ombudsman is an independent, impartial officer of the legislature that resolves and investigates complaints about Ontario government organizations, broader public sector bodies, including municipalities, universities, and school boards, child protection services, and compliance with the French Language Services Act. The Ombudsman has been investigating complaints about closed municipal meetings since 2008. Since January 1st, 2016, the Ombudsman has also had general oversight of municipalities. Since the beginning of the Ombudsman's jurisdiction over general municipal issues, we've received 14,371 complaints, including 2,281 during the 2020-2021 fiscal year. Of those more than 14,000 complaints, the Ombudsman has only conducted 6 formal investigations regarding municipalities outside of his open meeting jurisdiction. The most common concerns we hear about relate to council and committees, including conduct issues that are referred to local integrity commissioners, bylaw enforcement, including that municipalities are enforcing bylaws too stringently or not stringently enough, housing, including social housing administered by service managers and district social services administration boards, Ontario Works, and infrastructure, including complaints about roads, snow plowing, and drainage. Issues are best resolved locally wherever possible. The Ombudsman is intended to be a last resort. If complainants haven't yet tried to resolve their concerns directly with the municipality, we refer them back to you. Complaints have a negative reputation, but complaints can represent opportunities to improve your administration. They help you identify gaps and make improvements. Having a public complaints policy helps build confidence in local government. It can demonstrate that your municipality makes fairness and sound administration a priority. In many cases, developing a complaint policy may simply involve formalizing things staff are already doing. This helps staff by taking away the responsibility for figuring out how to respond to each new complaint. In addition, by documenting each step of the process, a municipality is prepared if our office calls, since staff won't have to dig back through emails or try to figure out what happened months before. A strong complaint process has its foundations in a well thought out policy. Your complaints policy should distinguish between requests for service, complaints, inquiries, suggestions, and compliments, and indicate how each will be addressed. The policy should specify whether anonymous complaints will be accepted. Complaints should be treated in confidence to the extent possible. Municipalities should address how frivolous or vexatious complaints will be dealt with. The complaint policy should prohibit retaliation or reprisal for anyone attempting to use or using the policy. Your complaints policy should indicate clearly where complaints can be sent, provide staff contact information, including email and phone number. Where appropriate, provide referral information, such as to other organizations or to other processes within the municipality, like the Integrity Commissioner, harassment policy, or service request process. Specify any required information, such as name, date, address, details of the complaint, efforts to resolve the issue, and contact information. Your policy should not include any barriers to making a complaint. Municipalities should not charge a fee to make a complaint. Complainants should not be required to provide a sworn affidavit or jump through any other burdensome procedural hoops. If you are concerned about voluminous, abusive, or frivolous complaints, address those issues in your policy by empowering staff to respond appropriately, instead of creating a barrier that may keep valid complaints out. Your complaints policy should encourage complaint resolution at the lowest level. For example, Each department should be responsible for initially addressing and attempting to resolve complaints. There should be a clear complaint path. If a complaint is not resolved at one level, there should be a pathway to escalate to the next level of complaint resolution. There should be an official with the ultimate responsibility to address complaints within the municipality. Where the competence or conduct of staff is the subject of a complaint, the complaint should generally be reviewed by someone impartial who has not had prior involvement in the matter. In some municipalities, this may be the clerk, city manager, or chief administrative officer. Some municipalities may choose to establish a municipal ombudsman. Staff should be required to cooperate with complaint resolution attempts. All relevant information and documents should be considered during the complaint review process. Your policy should provide staff with the discretion to identify relevant information and make a determination. Complainants should have an opportunity to comment before a final decision on the complaint is made. There should be a clear timeline for responding to complaints under the policy, including a timeline for acknowledging receipt of the complaint. Staff can be provided with flexibility to extend timelines as required. The complainant should be informed of any extensions and the reasons for them. An individual or body that has complained should be provided with a written explanation concerning any decisions made in response to their complaint and be advised where they can go next if they remain dissatisfied. It is useful to set out examples of remedies that may be available, such as apologies, changes in policies or practices, financial or other remedial action as appropriate. The municipality should provide a means by which complainants can provide feedback about their experience with the complaints process. Every municipality should have a general complaint policy that is approved by council. There should be a clear delegation from council to confirm the scope of staff's authority in addressing complaints. The complaint policy should be publicly posted so it is easily accessible to the public. Staff should be trained on the policy, including those who will apply it and those who may be able to refer members of the public to it. There should be a record kept of every complaint received, any interactions between municipal staff and the individual complaining, and the results. Complaint statistics, including volume, issue complained about, and result, should be collected, analyzed, and reported on publicly. This can help you identify systemic problems and address them to prevent future complaints. What your complaints process might not cover. General complaint resolution should be distinguished from any code of conduct applying to council and local board members. Those complaints should be directed to your appointed integrity commissioner. You should also have separate policies dealing with workplace harassment or violence, as required by the Occupational Health and Safety Act. You may also want to establish a separate process for monetary claims against the municipality, which may be referred for review by a municipal insurer. You may want a separate process for service requests, like a missed garbage pickup or reporting a pothole or water main leak. Whistleblower complaints may be dealt with under a separate policy. Your complaint policy may cross-reference these other complaint avenues, including the municipality's policies under the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act and accommodations available in accordance with the Ontario Human Rights Code, as well as any general customer service policy. We have resources available on our website, including wallet-sized tip cards, as well as copies of our investigative reports that you may find helpful. While we can't provide legal advice, if you have questions, contact us. We can help direct you to any existing resources or cases that might assist. You can follow us online on our various social media platforms or sign up for our monthly newsletter, where we regularly share information about case resolutions, ongoing investigations, and municipal matters. Check out our website at www.ombudsman.on.ca for more municipal resources and information about our investigations into closed municipal meetings.